Yes. Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, I'll repeat again, not a problem. Okay. So we are talking here, the concept here is that is conversion. Okay, conversion is the topic here. At least 3-4 classes we can take on conversion. Conversion means here one-time data transfer. It may be a huge number of data, okay, lakhs of data or thousands of data, whatever. Once we put into Oracle applications, we never ever process the old data again. So that's why it is called as a one-time process. Now, when there is a need here to pass the data from third party to Oracle apps is whenever your client is migrating from your third party. As of now, they have used third party application, but their need is not fulfilled. They like this Oracle applications. They would like to go with the Oracle applications from now onwards. So at that time, actually, completely they will migrate. They will migrate from third party to Oracle apps. Okay. In that case, conversion is really required. So whoever implementing Oracle applications at that time, actually, this conversion is really required. So what type of the conversions you can load here is, if you take any module, let's say purchase order module. In PO, what are the information you can see? Requisition is the one. Okay. Then purchase orders, you can import it. Receipts, you can do it. In case of AP module, so in case of AP, you can see suppliers, invoices, payment, there is no conversion. And AR, in case of AR module, customer invoices, okay. Receipts, also we can convert it by using APIs. In case of order management, there are sales orders are there. So like that, these are all the list of conversions and interfaces. So if you want to see, like there is a responsibility here, we can go with the integrated SOA gateway. This is the responsibility. It is a repository. All the 282 modules are 282 plus modules you can see into integrated SOA gateway. So if they are allocating one module conversion, if you don't know the tables behind this, so you need to go to, so like multiple times we came here, if you remember, correct? Integrated SOA gateway, repository. Click on search here and you can see product families. So there are various products here. Right now I'm talking about modules, that is categories here, financials. So under financials, what are the products you can see? What are the products? Pay, AP, GL, cash management. These are all the products under financials. Okay. Right now I am using here payables. There is a concurrent program, we can take it. If it is a standard program available. If standard program is not available, if there is the API is available, we can go with the PLSQL here. Okay. So I'm using here open interface. If you are interfacing the data, click on go. You can see. These are all the programs here. This is for supplier. Supplier will have a site will have a contact, like that. 3 programs really required here. Okay. Simply you can click on this and you can get to know what are the interface tables behind this. This is the table. So I'm taking an example here, supplier for time being. So we'll discuss some other like pricing, item costs, items, those are all. Right now, one example we'll take. The first thing here is supplier conversion we are talking here. In supplier conversion, initially we'll get a file here. The file will have a extension here is that is CSV. Okay. Who will give you this file here is, as I told you, there is a integration department. Sometimes if they give application access, you only need to extract also by using DB links and all. So at that time, if you are very senior, then definitely you also need to extract the data. So right now, let's say you have received a file here. The file where will you receive? Here is, there will be application server in this WinSAP. Go to application like this. This is called as an application server. Okay. AS means here is application server. There may be any folder available for these type of files. That is usually DBS will decide it. Simply they will create one directory like this. Okay. Like this they will create inbound or conversion files. Like this they will create a folder. Okay. That is not our responsibility. In the companies, they will let you know in which folder the files are located. We'll go step by step. First is what it is? File. Whatever the file it is, CSV, comma separated value. Okay. If you get XLS, for example, XLS file, XLS, you will not be able to load. You have to convert into CSV, then you can start loading. Okay. XLS is a file limitation. You will not be able to load the data into tables here. Then once you get a file, your next responsibility is what it is. You have to load into some tables. So those are all called as staging tables. We'll call it as a staging tables. And then the staging table is, it's your responsibility to create a table by using your regular syntax, create table, table name like that. Okay. And there is a tool here. The tool name here is SQL star loader. Okay. This is the tool, or we can say utility. So by using this tool, this whatever the data is available in the file, that we are going to load into staging table. Once you load into staging table, there are certain interface tables. This is another stage, staging to interface tables. You will have to write one PLSQL package. So by using that, we can load into interface table. Interface table, I just showed you. This is a table. Okay, next, go back. Another table. These are all predefined tables. You need to remember all this. If you don't remember, no worries. We can go with the integrated server gateway here. So 3 tables required here because supplier may have a site here, contact. If you look at an application, go to payables. Here, supplier screen. Create one supplier, you will get to know. Go to inquiry. Guys, please go on mute. You check here. So this supplier, advantage star supplier, it will have a site here. Okay. Sites. Site name, operating unit, shift locate. These are all the fields. These are all you are going to load the data. Okay. For thousands of records. If it is a single record, you can simply click on create and you can add all the information here. It's a data loading here from third party to Oracle apps. Thousands of data you can load into in the form of minutes simply. 10 minutes, 5 minutes like that it is based on the data volume. And here is the place, there is one more. That's a contact here. Click on contact. You can see first name, last name, phone number, email address. These are all the information. The hierarchy, if you want to load the data, 3 types of data we need to load. So what is that? One is supplier, site data, then contact data. This is the hierarchy. So 3 files we require here to load. 3 are separate. There may be a relation also here. Supplier and site vendor ID. And here site code is the join condition. Hierarchy relationship is required. That's the second stage. In the second stage, what we are doing? We are transferring the data from staging to interface table. And third stage here is interface to base tables. This is the final thing. It's a 3-phase approach. Supplier tables, you know already, correct? Supplier tables. Go to, here is the place. Offended diagnostics not enabled. Go to invoices here. If you don't know anything, any name, simply you can press F11 and then control F11. It may take time little, but still it will give you the data. Record history, AP invoices V. I am looking the suppliers tables behind this. Those are all called as a base tables. 50 here. Go to from class. You can check. Are there any tables behind this? Budget parties they gave. Few orders. But there is no supplier information. Instead of supplier, as supplier is moved to TCA. So they give here is budget parties. Click on F4. Script here. Okay, directly. They are referred here base table here. So supplier you can get it into budget parties also, not only customer. Bank information. These are all you can see into. These are all edged tables. Anyway, base tables are here is we can say. In this invoices, they have taken directly edged parties. But supplier base tables are here is this one. AP suppliers. In PO also we can get it. Purchase order screen you have used, right? So this is the table here. Okay. And for sites all, this is the base. Underscore all means it's a base table here.
AP supplier underscore contacts, sir.
Site contacts request.
It's not site contact, I think.
Okay.
Only contact.
Therefore, there is no operating unit associated with it. We can click on this AP supplier contacts it is. So here contacts are optional actually. Okay. For every supplier, one site is mandatory. But contacts, if you want, you can load it or you can leave it as a blank also. Okay. So contacts, what all the information we can see into is here. There are like first name here and then last name, middle name, like that it is. And their point of contacts. So where they are belonging to, what is the phone number? These are all the contacts it is. If you look at here, there are three stages in this. Okay. So three stages are here is file to staging and then staging to interface, interface to base table it is. Okay. So today I'm focusing on only one stage. Today's topic is only one stage. Maybe in the next class, we'll see staging to interface. Next session, I can say. Okay. But in this session is only first step. So for file, like we already received, that is CSV file it is. Three separate CSV files we have received. Supplier, site and contact. So I already opened this file. Go to, here is the place. Okay. Make sure here it should have a same data type. Just to generate error, I kept here the date field here instead of number, the date field, so that it will become as a bad file it is, bad record, because the data type is not correct here. That's why it is considered as a bad. Now what we will do, your first step is, we'll go step by step. First is here is file. File is in the form of CSV. If you receive XLS file, then you will have to save as CSV file. Okay. The second step here is create staging table. This is the second step. So staging table based on the file here, we need to compare it. Okay. What is the first column, second column? By seeing, you may not get awareness. You need to go to here. Here, suppliers, entry. Then after that, here is a place you can create one supplier, or you can search the existing supplier. See, there is an option here. That's a create supplier. You create one supplier, you will get temporarily. Okay. Then go to here, staging table creation. So first of all, we have to describe the base tables. I already executed the base tables. These are all the three base tables are there here. Okay. First, you need to take first base table. Go to Toad here. You will have to describe this table. F4. Then go to script here. And then here is the place. These are it's a table script it is. You can click on F4 here also. Here also there is a script here, table script. Whatever you have seen earlier, that is a view script it is. Now it is a table script we are checking. How it is created. Script means how it is created earlier. Okay. You take this entire table, all the columns, whatever you want, we will keep. The rest of the things we will not consider at all. So approximately 180 columns are there in this table. But how many columns they gave here? That you have to check. So here is 1, 2, 3, hardly 7, 8 columns they have here. That we need to identify what columns they provided. This is called as a column mapping here. You should not use the all the columns which are all available in the table script. But still, I'm just copying for simplicity. I can easily search over here like this. So we are creating a table here. Create table, table name. So in place of AP module, what I'm doing is I'm just giving here our client name. Okay. And right now you are into which user here? This user. This is called as a schema here. Schema means location in the database. This is the app schema it is. Okay. Now instead of AP module, what you can do, you have to just remove this better so that it will consider automatically wherever you create it. Okay. So this syntax, it's a DDL command everyone knows. Create table, table name. Okay. Now just check the columns here. First, we need to see here. Usually, this is a vendor ID here. Vendor ID. Vendor ID is a number data type, and it is mandatorily value we have to give. That's why it is a not null. It is not null. You know, right? Now you need to recall all your constraints, data types, all those in SQL. The second one here is this is a vendor name, and this is alternative name. It is vendor name. Usually, titles they will give like this. In this title, they will give vendor ID, vendor name, alternative name. If they give titles, it is well and good actually. But many cases, they will not give titles. At that time, we will struggle. That's why I'm not telling here with the titles. Okay. Vendor alternative name. These are all. These two copy. After vendor ID, this one. Next is vendor number. This is the number it is. Just go back. Supplier number always stored into number. See, I'm just copying and pasting, nothing else. Now next. These are all terms, your supplier terms, immediate payments. Okay. can see terms related any data. Term ID is different, but we wanted term name. You have to check. So if it is not there, what you have to do? You need to type it. What is it? We are just creating a table here simply. Term name, usually term name is varchar. Just copy paste. That's it. What else? These are, it's a payment priority, and this is the payment currency, this is the invoice currency, and this is some description. That's it. They have not given more columns. They would like to only load the limited data, hardly 10 columns. Okay. But in a table, if you look at here, there are more than 180 columns are there. We don't require all those. So you need to figure it out what columns you are loading in a sequence. So that's why for conversion, they will give 3-4 days time. You'll have a lot of time here to do it. Okay. And now what else? Term ID I have not taken. Payment priority, right? This is a payment priority. The same way, currency code, these three. I'm just copying. That's it. Your table is ready. So other than these columns, okay, other than these columns, you have to maintain history also. Those are all record history. You take any table, like let's say you take this table, F4. Any table, you will have a who columns here. Who has created by login. Okay, there are two more columns here. See, these are all. 5 who columns are required to maintain history. If you are, as of now, we have not created any table, correct? So we have used only MTL sysandans B, we added a solve, pure equation added solve, those kind of thing. So those are all predefined. But in case if you want to create it, then definitely you need to include who columns also. You remember all this? Last updated date, last updated by, and created by, creation date, this login. 5 who columns are there. You take any table in Oracle Apps. Let's say MTL system items B. Just see who columns. Can you note it? 5 who column.
Last updated.
Do you see all the who columns? Tell me who columns. Date and run. Why correct చెప్పండి ఒక్కరు చెప్పండి bypass చేస్తున్నారు కదా okay Mahesh you tell me last update login okay last update date next అందుకే అయిపోయింది డేట్ అని సింపుల్ మేనేజ్ చేసేసారు కదా just check okay check
Last updated by.
in interviews also people will ask you questions guys who columns are 5 here who has created when it was created when it was updated these are all okay so you can see all 5 here in the sequence correct these are all 5 okay now who columns you should not forget it if you forget then we cannot track who has modified it's very difficult actually it's mandatory who columns so along with this there are 2 more columns required 2 more columns are here is error flag error we are handling errors also and one more is error message flag means simply yes or no yes it is error no it is not error that's called as a flag flag means yes or no that's it if it is yes then what was the message is it a currency error is it a priority error is it a term error for every column one error we have to handle okay These two are the custom columns, we can say. These are all not coming from your file. We have to use our own columns here. These two are our own columns. Okay, mainly for error handling we can use. So this table contains, there are three things. One is columns coming from your file. The second one is who columns, and third one is error flag and
Error flag.
clear. Now I'll show you one file is there. I created a script for you. This is a script. Okay. Vendor ID, but I used vendor interface ID. Okay. You can take it from AP supplier sites also column mapping. Okay. I took this script from one table, right? That is AP suppliers. AP suppliers int also we can use. Int means interface table. This is the vendor interface ID I took actually. Okay. From this table, you can go to script here. Again, F4, script. These are all the columns you have to copy paste. You need to identify what columns you wanted to see here. Earlier, I could not see term name, correct, from base table, right? But I could see your term name here. Term name varchar 250 bytes kind of. So prefer taking from int tables. Int means interface tables. Okay. Okay, go back to WordPad. Just follow the Word document. I'll make you understand. What we did as of now, guys, we have got a CSV file, and then after that, create a staging table. On which table we are taking as a reference table is, we are taking reference table is interface table. Okay. Interface table name also, from where I identified this interface table name, one responsibility, right?
Integrated SOU.
Integrated service oriented architecture. Okay. Click on this. Yeah. It's a repository. Click on search. Then financials, product, your module name, then interface type is open interface. I'm taking now only open interface programs like requisition import, purchase order import, sales order import, item import. Those are all called as a open interface programs. Open interface. Click on go. You can see this is the program. If you click on this, you'll come to know the table behind this. Okay. So these are all one time only. Once you know this is the table, then no need to come back to this repository. Okay. So two steps clear. Now third step is what it is in this is we'll have to create a control file. This is called as a control file. Control file in the short form, it is a CTL file. It is. This CTL file is an input file to your tool that's called as a SQL loader. SQL loader is the utility or tool we can say. It will take CTL file. In the CTL file, we'll mention here the staging table name, CSV file name, whether we are skipping any rows or whether we are skipping any columns while loading. These are all we are mentioning into control file only. Control file is a unique file. Okay, it's a single file. That single file, what we are doing, it's an input file to SQL loader utility. Output file will have many. Maybe we'll have bad file, discard file, another one is log file. Okay, bad, discard, log. Three types of files are available. These are all called as an output. In SQL loader, we'll handle five types of files. One is control file. Other one is CSV file. The next three is I already typed here. Okay. So first we'll see a control file. This is where it's a CTL. First. There is a syntax here. Okay. Load. We are loading data. Okay, these are all capital letters, otherwise it will not be able to recognize. Load data. We are loading data in file. So where exactly your file is located? This file. Right now it is in my local machine. Okay. But the file must be available into server somewhere. So that is, you can use this directory, we can use it. Right now I've used conversion files, right? Like this in your project, there may be one directory, definitely. The DBS will create it. That's not our responsibility. Okay. Now go back to syntax again. So we are loading data which is available into one file. The file we are passing in the form of ampersand, the file name and its path. So we cannot hard code it. Okay. In one day, actually, they will generate into one directory. Then later they will change also. That's why for our convenience, we need to use here ampersand. Ampersand is what it is. It's for reference, parameter reference. And append. We load the multiple times this table. So today we loaded 5,000 records. In the evening, we'll load again. So every time we have to append it. There are other keywords also. Instead of append, we can use insert keyword. If it is only one time loading, if table is empty, not yet used at all, then we can go with the insert here. If there are any repetitive rows, it will override here, replace and truncate. Truncate everyone knows, right? It will remove all the data, it will sweep all the data, then after that, it will allow for a fresh loading. But majority of the cases, append will use, majority of the cases. All four, you must know the functionality. So by seeing insert means here, the table must be empty. Okay, then replace is repetitive rows, truncate it, whatever the records already loaded by us, that will remove everything. Then it will allow for fresh loading. Clear? Right now I'm using only append. Insert also will try to table. This is your table name. Whatever you create a table, that you have to mention here. Right now we try to create like this. This table name we have to mention. You should not forget all this. So whatever the table you are creating, replace, just use your name in front of it. Okay. Then fields terminated by. Okay. Fields terminated by is here. How the fields are terminated. If you open this file by using Notepad++, so first field terminated by comma, second field terminated by here, comma, like that. In some cases, you will see a pipe symbol also like this. Okay. See, this is 1900 is a one value followed by, do you see here, pipe symbol, the second pipe symbol, like that it is. Separators will be pipe, and there is one more also, that is tilde symbol. You can see it is just above the tab button or below the escape button. You can see this is called as a tilde. Do you see here this tilde button? It's called as a negation also. Okay. But majority of the cases I have seen here, comma, and then one more is pipe symbols. Tilde also will get it. Depends on the third party. Okay. Now optionally enclosed by. If any bigger description, we have to include in between the double quotes. That's called as optionally. And trailing null calls, it will check the null values at the end here. Null. At the end, if there is a null means, that is the name itself it is saying here, trailing, the row end. Trailing means the row end here. So these three are very much mandatory for every control file. Just copy and paste it. You take any control file. Let's say I'm taking this control file. Do you see here? Any file. These are all mandatory. And here also, just blindly you can copy and paste. Fields terminated by, optional included by, other one is trailing null calls. The next is column mappings. You can take it. These are all the columns. You have to copy paste all those. If you are lazy to copy paste individually, then what you can do, you can go to, there is a SQL surplus, yeah. This you can launch it. Execute SQL surplus. If it is not launching, then you must have here also you can use. This is just to describe only, not for execution. DESC, AP, suppliers int, like this. Now all columns are available here. Copy paste is very easy for us. See, like this. Just select it, then after that, copy and then paste over here. Like this. And you can include all the commas. Like this. It's very easy. Use side arrow, up arrow. You can play like a game here. Okay. This way you can put all the commas separated. Here. So as of now, what we did, we'll follow the document again. That okay. In the CTL file, what is the syntax of CTL file? Again, I'll show you because this is the first time, right, for you. Correct. Load data. Then after that, in file parameter ampersand you can mention. This is a number here, number one parameter, like that. And we are appending data to your table. Which table it is? No, this table you have staging table. These three are common, and these columns also common here. Okay. And then who columns not included here? It's created but not included here. Okay. So first, what we will do, I'll create a table. Table script. Call this. Copy all this. So do you see here who columns I have included, right? It is a place. Control enter. Okay. Just one extra parenthesis was there. At the bottom, if you look at here, table is created. So once table is created, what you have to do? Next, control file is the next step. As per the Word document, CSV file we already have. The next is creating a staging table. Then staging table, after creating a staging, next is control file. Control file extension is CTL, yes, .ctl. Okay. CTL syntax you can see. Yeah. These are all again. You no need to type it, just copy paste also fine. But table you should not forget. In this table, what you can do? Remove this. Clear? And these columns, whether this is correct or not, you have to see. First, what we can do, you go to SQL star plus. That is better. Okay. You should not use some other Scott Tiger and all. So we have to use this apps VIS DSC. These are all the columns. Only this you have to use, not the data types, not required. Okay. Copy. Then here is the place I'm putting like this. So comma separated is required. Just down arrow, side arrow. Okay. your file is ready. Okay, this history is required here. You have to include. Okay. CTL, you can include small also, small extension. Instead of ITM, you keep your name. Whenever you are working on it, you keep your name. Otherwise, you will struggle with the naming conventions. Same. Okay. So once file is ready, you go to Word document now. Fourth step here is register as a program. Register as concurrent program. Whenever I say register as a program, everyone knows or everyone should know the steps are here is executable, concurrent program. Then next is
Request group.
mention into request group. Then so that you can submit it from the responsibility. So these three steps are required. You already familiar, right? PLSQL stored procedures you registered. Then next XML publisher report is all you registered. So the fourth step is this one, registered as a program. Executable, if you want to create it, you can go here. Here is the place. It is not a report actually, correct? It is a different thing. That is, the file here is SQL star loader here. Okay, it's execution method. There are 11, 12 methods are there, but we will use only. If it is a Unix, we can use host program. If it is a Java, Java concurrent. But we won't touch this Java concurrent many times. Oracle report, stored procedure. This is for C language. Usually DBS will touch all this. Okay, now SQL star plus also will see. Perl is a separate script here. Even I never used as of now, but most frequently these are all. Report, stored procedure, host program, loader. Okay. This file name, this if you mention execution method is SQL loader, your program will check always into one directory. Okay, the directory is this one. Your module name. If it is RDF report, you can go with the report folder, but it will check, your system will search for your file into bin directory. In the bin, it will check. Okay. Now go to this supplier conversion, your file. Check here this file, right? Take this file. Copy this. Now mention here file name, your module name. If you are mentioning receivables means here, you need to go back to receivables AR and 1200 bin. Okay, based on your application name it is. The purpose of executable is what it is. It is to search your file is available or not. Okay, dynamically it will go and search into directory. If you mention your wrong name, then it will not able to identify that. Okay, copy the short name, define parameters, the file path, 240 characters. So length of the file it is. Okay, if you want to always mention the same path, there is a constant here. This is called as a default type constant. If you know the file will come regularly to one directory, then you can use this. For example, I am taking this. I'm keeping into bin only. Copy, paste, save. So at the end, do not forget the slash required here. Slash I kept here. Okay. Now attach this program to request group. Payable request group, you know already, correct? Security, responsibility. What is the request group name? All reports only. Even though it is not a report, but it is a group name. It is. All report is a group name. That's it. Okay. Now go to your payable. You can submit it. Same way like how you submitted for report. This is the file. The input file I have not moved. Here's the input file. I want to rename file name. Okay, the same file I'll give. Not a problem. This is a file name I would like to give. Okay. Along with the extension, otherwise it will not be able to recognize. Extension also you have to give like this. Okay. This file extension. Simply if you mention a file name, then it will not be able to recognize. Click on OK. So do you feel difficult compared to reports? It's easy only, right? Warning means it is not an error, it's a warning only. Okay. So why it is given a warning is, you can check. You observe clearly. Okay. So first focus on this argument till here. Go line by line. This is the control file. File name, file extension. This is the data file. Bad file, discard file. Here itself 4 files covered. Log file is also there. Now if you look at here is record number 1. It is rejected. This is error on a table. Column also they have given. Where exactly you got error also they have mentioned here. It is invalid number. Why it is given like that is, the first column is what it is. Vendor interface ID is the first column. Okay, what type of the data type it is and what you given. These are all we have to give. Yes, you must give a number, but in the file, if you look at here, I gave a date just to generate error only I have given. Okay, usually definitely will get data related errors. Now one row successfully loaded, but one row not loaded due to the data errors. That's it. So what is the summary of this overall? It has given the number of files and its paths. The next one is how many records loaded, how many records not loaded due to data errors, and how many records read. Right now I gave 2, but in companies and all it will be thousands, 30,000, 80,000 like that it is, or 3,000. These are all just for sample only I took. Okay. Data means simply copy paste into Excel sheet only, nothing else. The company will get thousands of data. Here, total logical records read is 2 and total logical record rejected is 1. Why it is rejected, it's clearly mentioned. Okay. And the rejected records we can see into bad. Bad is because of the data type mismatches and even non-English characters also, like any special characters. If you are loading English data, if there is Arabic character comes in between, then definitely it is a bad data. So the bad file path, your system only given here till here. Copy this. So do not copy the file name along with the extension. It will not be readable. So Control O, which is used to open a directory, paste it like this. Okay. There are so many files are there. What is your file name? This one, 79794. Roughly you have to remember, okay? Check visually based on this or are changed date. Do you see? If you click on change date, it is came up here. Clear? Now if you try to open, it will display only bad records. Okay? Click on this. Open with the notepad. Sorry, we opened wrongly. Like this. So this is the bad record. If there are 100 bad records, 100 you can see in this file only. Clear? That's all for today, for this session. We discussed only 4 steps as of now. Okay? So once we receive a file, what will be your next step is staging table creation. What are the contents of staging table? 3 contents. One is the files which you received from a file, the columns. The second one is who columns. Third one is
Two columns.
third
Error
column,
table.
right,
Error table.
error handling, we can say.
Error handle. Yeah.
Error handling means these 2 columns. Status flag or error flag, whatever, error message. So 3 things. Now, what are the contents of control file? These are all output. I am asking content. Content means syntax, you can say.
Load data
Okay.
into table name, staging table name.
Okay. These are
Then append keyword we use, either append or replace or insert or truncate.
okay. The next, these are all 3 and columns.
Yeah.
So what I will do, instead of append, I'll use a insert here. Okay. Just go to application here. I'm using insert keyword. What type of the error you will get? You will see. The table must be empty actually if you are using insert keyword. Only first time you can use. Now rerun a program. I'm not changing path, file, everything is same. Okay, it's error. The reason also you have to check. Reason. Can you see here? For insert option, table must be empty. Error on so and so table. So usually we'll use append only. Okay. Only one time insertion we can go with the insert option. Otherwise, append is fine. Okay, guys. So we are working on conversion program, supplier conversion. We are loading the supplier's data. As of now, first stage is over. In the next class, what we can do, we'll discuss about the package. The package I'll show you. If you don't know PLSQL, just go through once roughly.
So in Excel sheet,
Yeah.
there will be a name, alter name. How can we don't know about the title name? How can we identify that?
Yeah, that's what you are a technical consultant, right? What you need to do, you need to go to payables, go to suppliers, then entry, click on one supplier, create one supplier or identify the existing supplier, United Parcel Service. Okay. So like this, you must have awareness. If it is a site, you'll have a site name. So by seeing currency, you can come to know, right? Whether it is invoice currency, or payment priority. Once you create one supply record, we'll get to know. Definitely we'll get to know. So this is a test record you have to create. So if you are creating a requisition or purchase order, without the title also, we can identify. If you go to purchase, go to purchase orders here. You can easily identify, right? Like if they give you data in the header level, what you can see, buyer, you can see type. By seeing column names, you can identify. It's not that much difficult. Clear? Any confusion? You want me to revise? So first step is, what is conversion? Converting old system data to Oracle Labs is a conversion. So how many methods we have? Conversion. So 3 stages. File to staging. We are talking about file to staging only. Which file it is? The file is CSV file. If you by mistake, if you get XLS, you have to rename it. Then staging table creation is your responsibility. While creating, you have to include 3 types of columns. One is database columns, which are coming from your Excel sheet or whatever interface table. Second one is who columns. Third one is error flag and error message. And once you create a control file, the syntax of control file is important to remember. What is the syntax of control file? Load data. These are all load data in file, file path, append into table, fields terminated by. These are all you have to say. Okay. And these are all columns from a staging table. Once it is done, then we need to move into a directory that is bin. It's not a report. Okay. If it is a report, we can go with the reports directory. You can see somewhere reports, but right now it is bin. Unix files and control files will keep into bin directory only. So once it is done, then we have to follow some steps. One is creating executable, creating a concurrent program, and attach into the request group. That's it. So what we can do after break or within break, if you already finished breakfast and all, you focus on this only. Then the next stage, what I need to do is I need to explain you about this package. So this approximately these many lines I need to explain. Okay. If you get a time, what you can do in the meantime, you need to prepare about cursors. If it is not covered PLS school, also nothing to worry. Just go to YouTube and you can come to know cursor syntax, procedure, package, all this. Okay. These are all the three is important, and loops, right? For loop, these are all loops. Exception handling, correct. These are all the 4 concepts. If you go through in YouTube, you can get to know. Or if you don't know, also no problem. While teaching the code, I'll explain you. But next class is a little important. Okay. So meantime, what you can do, I'll give you this file. Can you download from this directory in the application server, Oracle, Vision? Okay. Before entering into this conversion files I'm keeping here, you can download from there. Okay. The entire folder I'm giving here. It is there in the server only. No need to, you don't need to search in the Google Drive. Okay. These are all the files. It will be more convenient for you. Okay. Another thing is, if you want to download or exchange the files, so many people are not aware. Okay. There is an option here, local resources. In the local resources, there is a more tab. In the more tab, you have to check this drives checkbox. If you click on these drives, you can copy paste from local machine to server easily. If you are not checked this, you check it. And you need to save your username also. Okay, always or delete. So click on save here. There is a checkbox. Allow me to save credentials. Save. Connect. Every time giving password, these are all difficult for you. connected automatically. Now if you close this again, directly have connected, correct? Better what you need to do, go to click on show options, and here is the place. Always ask for credentials, don't check this. Username and password, you save it simply, okay? And if you want to copy paste, local resources, more tab, and there is a drives checkbox. It is. You must have a files for practice, otherwise it is very difficult, right? Typing, it will kill your time. Okay. So you need little time to know all those cursors, procedure, function. Can you focus today? Concepts. If you want, you can note down cursor. Then loops. Proceed. Syntaxes, at least functionality. Okay. Function, package. The next is exception. At least watch one time videos, you'll come to know, okay? Thank you. Any other doubts, guys, online? Chaitanya? Rupa? Indraja, are you there?
No questions, sir.